So you just checked the barrel. Show me, put the cartridge in the barrel. I'd like to see what this looks like. I moved them over here. So
Okay.
the barrels.
Lothar.
That's a Lothar.
This is the stuff we just got done.
Right.
So, Lothar drops clean. Right measurement drops clean.
Right.
These do not. They're too deep and they stick, which I had to sort of figure it out. We were talking about this more. I'm trying to figure out this enigma, and it had to have been that they were brought to final depth with the roughing reamer.
That's why they broke the other reamer, because when they were using the roughing reamer without coolant, without through coolant, the chips got caught in there.
Probably.
And then when they went to finish it, it was like, oops.
And you have to have a specific dwell time. The reamer has to drop into final position, dwell for a specific amount of time, and then be fully retracted. If you interrupt that process at all, you break it.
Well, that's what the chips got in the way.
Probably.
Yeah, and it created a barrier.
I just cleaned these out. These should have been absolutely spotlessly clean. I didn't. They had debris all in them.
Ah, well, that proves
and that's
it.
an indication of, and it's not just the normal chip stuff that the reamers will produce. This was manufacturing debris.
Right,
So,
this was done over at the place where we got our stuff.
Yeah, and it was done impromptu and quickly.
Well, it's not your fault. I mean, they should know.
Still.
And they had notes. We gave them notes. They had the guy's phone number where the tool is made. They had our phone number.
It should have been done on a lathe.
I just don't like seeing you blame yourself.
Well,
you know, why should you blame yourself? You didn't do it.
Yeah, I went in and I checked it, but I didn't do a thorough check. I saw that it was sticky.
But that's your check. I mean,
just accepted
you make it sound like if you had checked it better, it would have been okay. It still would have been bad. All right, so we're going to ream these out, the two silvery-looking ones.
And then you have to trim the breech.
Well, we'll have to trim the breech just because now we have to make it a little bit bigger.
Yes.
But it's not a huge deal. We have machinery here.
Yes.
And
it's
more of a disappointment in the company, especially since they supposedly have some kind of an ISO 9001, which I know doesn't have anything to do with quality. It's accountability of their process. But still, what's the use of being accountable? You know? I mean, okay, well, if they're 9001, then they should know exactly who did that. If we called up, they shouldn't say, well, I don't know who did that.
No, I mean, I was standing there with the guys that did it. I mean, and Jay supervised it, but it's the first time they did any chambering. And
See, you've already let them off the hook.
I don't know what phone calls they made. I have no idea. And really, I was acting more along the lines that I was just happy to get anything done.
Well, that's not
to even get this done.
Once again, that's not for you to take the blame about. Anyway, so the Lothar Walther, though, works very well.
Yes.
We just need those to be threaded,
yes,
which can be done because
there
the
is enough material there.
minor diameter is smaller than it used to be.
Correct.
That's good. Okay, so we still, it's just a few barrels that maybe or maybe will not work, but the main thing is to be able to get to test these, so we'll still work it so we can test them, right?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and put these on the lathe.
Remember.
Finish ream, measure, remove the material off the breech face to spec, and then headspace them.
Now, as soon as we know that that's a workable product, then I'll go ahead and we'll get Lothar on the phone and have them thread, because that's the only thing missing. Other than that, we should have the barrels.
Luckily, I designed in enough space here that we actually can do that. We
Well,
can
that's good,
reduce
too.
the space, and it won't damage anything.
Right. And then after while we're getting Lothar to do that, we can also take the other blanks that we have. We have tons of blanks.
Yes.
And we'll just have to go somewhere where they have time for us and where they really care about what they're doing, I guess.
And normally what happens in your relationship is things will go back and forth. Here, how was that? Tickle it this way, do this to it, or that's great, and we never got that opportunity.